So, welcome. This is something I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and I finally grew the balls. So, the people closest to me know that I love true crime, and I feel like a lot of other people do too. And I just don't have, I have a very small group of people in my life, and I think they're all just kind of like sick of me talking about true crime. So, I wanted to come on here and do it. I'll talk about it here. I know there's people that will find me that enjoy listening to this kind of stuff. I know a lot of people do this, and I'm just another one of those girls, but this is just fun for me. I like to be able to talk about it, talk about my opinion on things. So, yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the murder of Barbara Kendhammer. This one is so sad. I lived in the area when this happened. I had just moved to the La Crosse area, and I remember just being so interested in this case, and I have never heard anyone talk about it, and so let me be the first, right? So, let's get started. So, Barbara Kendhammer was born March 4th, 1970, in La Crosse, Wisconsin, to her parents Merlin and Joyce. When she was 16 years old, she met Todd Kendhammer. They started dating in 1989, and on August 3rd, 1991, they got married. They had two children together, a daughter named Jessica and a son named Jordan. Friends said the couple were very happy and seemed to be ridiculously in love. Barbara was employed in the food service program at West Salem Middle School for 14 years. It was said that she was very proud of what she did, but most of all, she loved the kids and the people she worked with. This gets me really sad right here. Barbara's obituary says, quote, Barbara enjoyed so much in life. She loved doing crafts, camping, going on family trips, snowmobiling up north, and tending to her flower garden. Barbara had a special way with animals. She loved taking care of animals and enjoyed taking in pets, including dogs, cats, and uniquely, donkeys and chickens. That is goals. I want a donkey. How fun. This is a side note. I saw this video on I want to say Facebook, and it was someone getting hurt and a donkey in the background was laughing. And they sound so funny. I mean, if I had a donkey, it'd probably be laughing at me all the time, so I'd be self-conscious around it, but how fun. That's so fun. I love that. Anyways, she even kept them safe and warm in the garage during the winter months. Barbara always put everyone else before her. She always made sure everyone was taken care of. True to this nature, she gave the gift of life to many by being an organ donor and tissue donor. Barbara will live on in the hearts of her family and friends and the donor recipients she never met. End quote. I don't know why that gets me so sad every time I read it. My eyes. I don't want to admit that I'm getting watery eyes, but anyways. So on the morning of September 16th, 2016, Todd Kendhammer called 911 reporting that he and his wife Barbara had been in an accident on a rural road near La Crosse, Wisconsin. He told the dispatcher that as he was driving his car, a pipe smashed through his windshield and struck Barbara, and believed she was hit in the head and throat. Todd said she was in the passenger seat when the metal pipe smashed through the front windshield of their car. Todd told dispatchers that he had removed the pipe in order to take Barbara out of the car to perform CPR. Emergency responders arrived and worked to save Barbara, who had suffered significant injuries. Barbara was then rushed to the hospital in La Crosse, Wisconsin, but sadly passed away due to her injuries the next morning. While Barbara was in the hospital, it was said that Todd appeared very concerned about her condition as he spoke with officers. Todd had told investigators that he worked in glass and windshield repair on the side for extra income, and he was on his way to pick up a vehicle he was repairing and was going to drop Barbara off at work afterwards. He said Barbara worked flexible hours, so she was able to go with him when he went to pick up the vehicle that had a cracked windshield. Police tried searching for the truck that Todd said caused the incident and issued a release to the media to help find it. When officers asked Todd about the truck, he could only give a very vague description. So, it's a truck, and a pipe flew off the back. Like, yeah, no shit, buddy. Like, give us a little more than that. While the car that Kendhammer was driving was sent to the Wisconsin Crime Lab for analysis, detectives focused their attention on the crash site and Todd's injuries. They took pictures of his hands, shirt, and scratches that he had on his neck and across his chest. This is what there's nothing funny about this case in general. But this man, I'm going to post a picture of the shirt this man was wearing when this happened, because I feel like I'm about to give it away. You're going to murder your wife, and you're going to pick this shirt to wear when you have to call the police to come to the scene, get your pictures taken. His shirt literally says, "I don't give a rat's ass." Like, bud, you didn't think that through. I don't think he thought that through at all. Well, this dude's not smart to begin with, so you know what? Maybe he didn't even think about it. Okay. Anyways, Todd told investigators that he had some of these cuts and scrapes on his body because he works in glass, and also blamed the extensive wounds that were on his knuckles on the accident. At this time, investigators were becoming pretty suspicious of Todd's story because things just were not adding up. Investigators continued to search for the truck and its driver, as well as witnesses. One witness came forward and told police that he had seen the Kendhammer's car in the ditch and that there was no damage to the windshield. He also stated he didn't see anybody at the scene as he drove by. So there was no damage to the windshield, no pipe, no Barbara, no Todd, just the car. Just car chilling. That's a little suspicious, right? A potential break in the case came from a security camera along the route the Kendhammers traveled. It confirmed that Todd and Barb were going in the direction that Todd had said they were, but there was no sight of this mysterious flatbed truck he said caused the incident. Detectives grew more suspicious of Todd's story of what actually had happened and the scratches on his body. They spoke with his employer, who told detectives that Todd didn't actually handle glass. Buddy boy, you're going down. This is not looking good. On September 20th, 4 days after the incident, Dane County Medical Examiner performed an autopsy on Barbara, and the findings further contradicted Todd's story of what had actually happened that day. Barbara had signs of strangulation around her neck, along with scratch marks, and noticed 2 of her fingernails were broken, so they swabbed underneath her fingernails for DNA. Investigators believe that after the autopsy, her injuries and her death were not likely caused by impact from a pipe through the windshield. At that point, Barbara's cause of death was ruled as undetermined. Detectives interviewed the Kendhammers' children, who were adamant that their father had absolutely nothing to do with their mother's murder. Like, he would have never harmed Barbara. But other witnesses said that Todd had a temper and was very, very controlling when it came to Barbara. Investigators attempted to replicate the accident as Todd had described it by dropping the pipe off the back of a truck. But the pipe never reacted the way it had in Todd's story. The Wisconsin Crime Labs, and I don't know why, that's just like a tongue twister for me. The Wisconsin Crime Labs analysis of the Kendhammer car came back, and glass fragment findings didn't support Todd's account of the accident. There was dirt found on the pipe that matched dirt that they found in the trunk of the car. So this further added to investigators' suspicions. The pipe may have been, quote, something of a convenience at the time to put through the windshield and make it look like it was a crash, said one of the investigators. They also said there was no blood found on the pipe, which is weird, right? Because if this pipe flew through the windshield, hit Barbara, and killed her, there would be blood, right? Or no? Investigators contacted Barbara's supervisor, who told them that Barbara didn't work flexible hours. So now there's another hole in Todd's story. He's not looking too good. Todd was brought in for a more formal interview 6 days after the crime had occurred. Police pointed out inconsistencies in his story, including the acquaintance who owned the car Todd had said he was going to pick up the morning of the accident. This dude, his acquaintance, knew nothing about it and had not spoken to Todd in weeks. Todd then told investigators that he was going to pick up a windshield for a friend of the acquaintance. But the friend's acquaintance later told investigators that he was not expecting Todd and he didn't need a windshield replaced. Todd insisted he did nothing to hurt Barbara, and after a nearly 4-hour interview, investigators were unable to get a confession and let Todd leave. However, lab results showed that Todd's DNA was under Barbara's fingernails. Listen, if you are ever being attacked, and I hope to God this doesn't happen to anybody, but if you are, use those fingernails and scratch the shit out of the person attacking you. As hard as you can. I don't care if it hurts you. You scratch that mother trucker, because justice will be served. They will find that person's DNA under your nails, and bam, suspect is found. I can't stress it enough. Now, there was enough forensic evidence to classify her death as a homicide. Investigators believe that Barbara had been beaten multiple times and that she was not sitting in the car when the pipe came through the windshield. After all this evidence, Todd was then arrested and charged with Barbara's murder. His trial began December 5th, 2017. The defense team made the case that Todd was telling the truth and his inconsistencies were tied to the stress of losing his wife. The windshield fractures were a highly disputed topic during Todd's trial. A glass expert for Todd's defense team supported Todd's version of events during his testimony. He claimed there were 3 impact points on the windshield. The first impact point confirms Todd's account of punching the windshield from the inside after seeing the pipe coming towards the car. The second impact point is from the pipe going through the windshield. And then the third impact point was caused while Todd was pulling the pipe out while attempting to save Barbara. However, the state's expert disagreed with the defense's expert on the order of which these impacts occurred. Prosecutors argued this is more evidence showing that Todd intentionally damaged the windshield. They also pointed to other crime lab findings, which they claim proves that Todd's version of events were not possible. The medical examiner who conducted Barbara's autopsy, Dr. Kathleen McCubbin, testified in Todd's trial that Barbara's cause of death was due to blunt force injuries to her head and neck. In Dr. McCubbin's autopsy report, she wrote that the pattern of injuries is inconsistent with Todd's account of a pipe falling off the truck. She also noted countless other injuries, such as scratches on her neck, a broken nose, and bruises all over Barbara's body that suggested a physical altercation happened before her death, which is so fucking sad. Todd's defense attorney did not call their own forensic pathologist, but tried to create reasonable doubt during cross-examination, but the jury didn't buy it. At the conclusion of the trial, Todd Kendhammer was convicted of first-degree intentional homicide. And in Wisconsin, that carries an automatic life sentence. Nice. As of May 2022, a judge denied Todd's request for a new trial, and Todd is planning to appeal that decision. And this is the story of Barbara Kendhammer. I'd love to know what you guys think of this. Do you think he did it? Or do you think it was like a freak accident? Do you think it was the pipe that flew through the windshield that bounced off of the back of a mysterious truck that was never found? Or do you think that Todd might have lost his temper and murdered her? I would love to know what you guys think. I hope you guys liked this case. I've always been so interested in it, and I've never heard anyone talk about it. So I wanted to be the person to talk about it. I've always thought it was an interesting case. The fact that this man says a pipe, out of all things, a freaking pipe, flew through the windshield and killed his wife. But nothing like adds up, you know? Whether the pipe did bounce off the ground, okay, maybe it was a freak accident. But Todd saying, he was going to pick up a vehicle to replace the windshield, and two people said, no, he was not coming to pick up our vehicles to replace the windshield. There were a lot of lies. It didn't look good for him. So, yeah, I want to know what you guys think. So, let me know. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!